to redesign the whole thing, which is, I think, is necessary.
Okay, thank you. And we are live now with Phil from
Okay.
Detrash, a wonderful entrepreneur, revolutionizing that market and helping us today to understand how to, let's say, work with ecosystem properly, and how they, with the Detrash project and DeFi solution, they could, let's say, restructure and help us to be more efficient in a way we are actually willing to protect the world, and we're willing to be responsible living in that world. Phil have wonderful growth hacking mentality, the unique entrepreneurial experience, and right now we are actually willing to go in depth with understanding how you could apply the servant leader mentality that's to creating actually important solutions, more than just superficial approaches, but going in depth. Could you please explain us what the Detrash is all about?
Hi, Aaron. Hi, everybody. Thank you for all for being here. Thank you for receiving me here. Yeah, Detrash is an organization that looks to deploy Web3 technologies and new technologies to solve a very serious issue in the world, which is waste. So waste pollution and very inefficient waste management overall, to have a regenerative system from the perspective of what we generate as waste.
Got it. We just talking about we have a conversation with my colleague Sophie before that stream about how we will use special soap in our, let's say, eco villages, just to be able to have a full cycle wastewater recycling. Because by the end of the day, somehow we will get all the chemicals you are putting in that water, because we are getting that water from the ground up, and we are going through very advanced recycling. Then all of that water coming to fruit trees, and then it's still getting back to that place where we're getting that water. So we're trying to create that full cycle for our villagers. But what about the overall world? Because some of the people, they just don't have enough money. And what's your solution? How they could approach that problem, and how they could be more efficient with the recycling, let's say, mentality and methodology?
Yeah, a great system. And by the way, water is something very important. So it's great to see that Elmas is taking care of it to that level, to the level of the chemicals. And but how it is done in the whole world, it doesn't matter if it is in Brazil, where I live, in the Philippines, or in Germany. The whole world today relies on a waste management system that is basically a concession for certain actors to collect the waste of the cities, of the municipalities. And some of those, or the minority of those, recycle it. The majority of those do not go for landfills. So there are a couple of problems with that. The first problem we see in waste management is recyclable waste is, as a supply for the industry, is not in a competitive volume. The world recycles only 7% of its whole waste. That's very, very low. So for an industry that uses plastic, for instance, to use recyclable plastic to make their products, for the Samsung suppliers, for instance, to use recyclable plastics to make their products, they would need a lot of more of recyclable plastic around to make the choice. Hey, no, we will not buy first use plastic. We will buy recyclable plastic. So that's the first goal. What the RESI system does, the C-RESI system does, is we give rewards, we give tokens. It's called the C-Resi token for recycling and composting reports. Because in that way, we believe much more in incentivizing than punishing. And in that way, everybody will be more keen to take care of their waste, both the generators and the recyclers, because they will win with that.
Okay, let me explain. I'm personally from Latvia. First of all, it was introduced in Lithuania, just a small country under the Latvia on the world map, just a couple hours away from Latvia. And what we have, let's say bottles, plastic bottles recycling. We have all of that stations. I could drop, let's say, that empty bottle and get, let's say, 5 cents or 10 cents per bottle, and I could use it in a grocery store next to that station. So we have a laws, we have a structure, and it feels like it's already working right now in Latvia, because I wasn't been in Latvia for 1 year, but still it feels like it's the same as in Lithuania. And the people, sometimes not so rich people, taking all the bottles. Even I'm living next to the Baltic Sea beach, and they taking all the trash, taking the plastic bottles, not all the trash, but plastic bottles, and drop that to that stations, getting money somehow. So they receiving money for cleaning the beaches. So it feels like it's working proven solution. But what's going on all around the world, and what do you think about that approach we're already using in Europe, and how your more general approach will, let's say, will fit into that very mixed landscape, where someone like Thailand or creating so many poison toxic waste, but in other countries just creating all of that zero waste, like Sweden, zero waste methodology and ecosystem.
Yeah, great question. So the RESI network adapts to both, because it's actually an incentivization that works on two problems. Works on the problem of Latvia, Lithuania, and Germany, and Norway for that matter, which is everybody got this. In German it's called Pfand, right? You get the ticket and you go to the grocery store for the plastic bottle. But there is an enormous other amount of goods there's not, is the recycling process is poorly made. And even if you get this fund, given it isn't within an inflationary system, the fund will be worth less and less every year. And this discount that will be worth less and less every year on your grocery store means that the company that's doing that will need more and more money from the government every year. So in Norway, that recycles 96% of its waste, the company that does that is on red. He's losing money since the beginning, and every year they have to fight to get more money from the government. That's not sustainable over a long time, over a long period.
It will not.
Our system, in the other hand, it is like a deflationary token. So every time that you're getting your incentives, as you would if you put your bottle there, and as we are discussing with a couple of actors in Europe to do so, you will get something that you can first choose what you buy, not only in grocery stores, and second, it will give you more purchase power over time, not less purchase power over time.
Just a quick question, because I know the guys standing behind all of that, let's say stations, plastic, on all of that. plastic recycling initiatives. What do you think? Could you just be? Could you integrate could you integrate those, let's say, European recycling model to your ecosystem? Is it good for you? Is it, or you are targeting the third world countries? Better thinking about the countries without any real waste management strategies. So, what's your unique, let's say, business strategy with your DeFi?
So right now, our business strategy is towards the places where there is not yet such infrastructure. But when I was developing this the C-Resi network, I developed it to be a global infrastructure. So I had to make something that would be used by any kind of country in any sort of evolution towards recycling and composting. And I did that doing the easiest possible tokenization model rationale, which is an input of a recycling or composting report that generates X amount of tokens. And that's why it fits all. So we are in places that have no such infrastructure, and we are already like in advanced talks with places that have already this infrastructure in Italy and other countries. So Detrash was thought and was built to be a global waste management incentivization system. So to be catered to everyone, literally everyone that generates waste and everyone that recycles or composts this waste.
Sorry for that very tough question, very
No
entrepreneurial
problem.
question, very entrepreneurial question. But how the Detrash is actually making money to incentivize all of that activity? How are you able, let's say, to make money? Where you generate the profit?
So we have two revenue streams. Actually, one will yet be executed, but in the future we'll have two. Today we have one basic revenue stream is that we keep a portion, 40% more exact, of the tokens, and we sell that. We sell that for hodlers, right? We have sold over 25,000 tokens, and those hodlers, those people, those investors are people that buy C-Resi because they believe that the value, and that's what fascinates me to work beyond if I think from the purpose that makes me wake up every day. But in a personal level, what fascinates me more about Detrash is to discover the actual price of keeping the world clean in a base of 22 million tokens, which is the max supply of C-Resi. So I think it's a very intriguing question. I would say it's way over $1, which is the price for one C-Resi right now. But that's the discovery everybody wants to know, and everybody thinks it's worth more.
Got it. Got it. Let's go. Let's go.
I have a 4-year-old kid, and he's like
No,
asking me questions. That's why I'm
absolutely.
talking a little bit away of the camera as well.
No, it's absolutely perfect because a lot of let's say my colleagues working from home right now. Some of them evacuated from Ukraine, so living with their families, sometimes in very beautiful places in Portugal, Spain, and Germany, but still having some sort of home offices. So it's absolutely it's great. So your children see you a lot, and you can
yeah, that's a luxury from the sad pandemic times. It's a luxury that now we can spend more time with family. And the second, going back to the question, the second revenue, which is actually the most important revenue strategically for Detrash, will be we are still very small, but we have a treasure where the performance of Detrash towards investments and taxes of transactions that we receive uh, will go to invest in companies that generate the next more sustainable kind of waste. So today, if we look, what is very interesting as well, that today, if we look around, we have plastic or biodegradable plastic alternative made from cassava, from algae. We have metal alternatives that are very, very efficient as well. But all of those ventures are very young and they need a lot of money, but they will bring something very important to the world. So our second revenue will be as a venture capital for those kind of initiatives and companies.
Got it. Got it. Okay. So let's take some sort of just regular Joe, just simple user experience. So let's say just some family willing to work with you, working or willing to, let's say, somehow have generate additional stream of wealth from their waste recycling. What should they do? How they should operate, and how they should, let's say, work with Detrash to say, get that,
So yeah.
find that token.
So how, yeah. So how are we working right now on MVP is we get to recycling cooperatives or actors, companies, people, and we teach them to draft a report on how much they collect. And that is a simple, today is a simple Google Forms. And from August on, will be on our app or DApp. We are to launch the first beta version on the DApp on August, and there they say how much they got, how much weight they got from each type, and they make a footage of it. From this, we mint RESIs and we transfer them to their wallet, to their either Trust Wallet, MetaMask, or Valora. Each every wallet that supports Celo, we are on it, and that's how it's working right now. The recycling actors have the job not only to issue reports from us for us to get them RESIs, but to transfer today RESIs to people, to their clients. So they issue a second report for us, which is called a distribution report. And
Okay.
then they retain half of the tokens and the other half they transfer down to the client so that they get the waste from.
Got
And like that, it works today. Once the DApp is launched, we will have because everything will go on chain. So we can like create a reputation system that is public and transparent for
Yes.
the reports. We will have the possibility for a person like myself. I divide here my waste into 5 categories. In the future or from August on, I'll be able myself to go there, like weight my waste with a simple waiter, like a hook waiter,
Yes.
hook balance, and like make a footage of it with my cell phone and send through the app and receive CRESs. So when the beta is done,
So
every generator will receive CRESs
got
through
it.
that.
Got it. It's truly interesting. So, what's the average revenue stream for the, let's say, household of let's say 2 children and two wife and father, man? What's the average, let's say, additional revenue stream will go to the family budget if they, let's say, sort the waste, make all of that photos? What's actually
Well,
uh,
today you would get like zero point 0.3 times 30. You would get probably $50
a month? Yes.
a month. Yeah.
Yes, it's very good from, let's say, for let's be honest, third world countries. It could be,
Yeah.
let's say, great initiative, because it's actually could be not bad initiative even for Eastern Europe, even Eastern Europe.
Yes.
I,
Yes.
I, I,
Yes.
ju- I got a lot of reports right now from Eastern Europe regarding waste recycling, and we're having all of that infrastructure. I mean, all of that sorting infrastructure, but we have a problem. People not willing to sort all of that waste. They don't have any incentives to do so. So and that's a huge problem, because I'm sure that a lot of guys, I mean, like decision makers, will support your project, just because. Let's be honest. By the end of the day, the waste is the money. If you, but
Yes.
yes, sorted waste. It's a money printing machine. It's
Yes.
just
Exactly.
if you know the industry, if you are industry insider. So if you could create that solution for, let's say, Eastern Europe, for third world countries, they will definitely support you. But
Yeah.
I'm thinking that you should be introduced inside all of that business of recycling, because they are making money out of your results, because you're paying other people to provide them to supply them with the gold, because let's be honest, it's actually gold, well sorted waste. So I don't know. It's a huge opportunity. Do you have a lot of business developers in your team? Do you have enough people to make a calls for all of that, to all of that government entities, to explain? Because you definitely need to create yourself some sort of Zoom calls or Zoom conferences
Yes.
like
Yeah.
ours. Let's say for maybe for 5, 6, 10, maybe 30 decision makers, and explain them how they will
Yes.
benefit out of it, because let's be honest, everybody in that business, I mean, waste recycling, is all about money. I don't know, maybe 30% from waste recycling is actually they have motivation to save the planet. They're actually willing to do something good for the planet. But let's say
Yes.
70% just criminals. It's like criminals, but like they just very hungry for the money. They just they approach that like any other business, and that's why it's easy to move them to any direction you wish, promoting your project, because you actually generate them a lot of opportunities. But still, I like your product, because you could play with those decision makers and create yourself a bright future. It's a bright future for the whole world, because we all, as a planet, facing that problem. We don't have enough stimulus to sort our waste. Even
Yes.
even even
Yes. Exactly.
even establish.
Anyone. Yeah.
Yes.
And if you think of Germany or Romania, Italy, for instance, they all gone through the 70 something 80% of waste recycled, but there's still this 30 or 20%, which is a challenge because of the lack of incentivizing, right? There is no like healthy system that makes people want, because if you think is even a more of a significance or philosophical approach to it, if you think we do not think of waste as you just described, that's a very important economic uh, factor of your life, of your day-to-day life. Like you you actually see that as a cost or as something undesirable, right? And um, we need is not good also if we only want waste, because that will ruin the planet. But we definitely had to get out of the side of seeing as a bad, really bad thing that I don't want to have. I don't want to have anything to do with that after I throw it away, to a more neutral stance, to a more like realistic and less emotional stance, to see, hey, that's something that I have to deal with. And because it can either bring harm or bring good to the world in terms of wealth inequality or equality, and that's how we approach it. So yeah, but getting to the this uh, question, which is very important, of how much people would get in the end of the month. Uh, that is very important because right now, as the system is, even in recycling systems, current systems, is a means of wealth concentration. It's not a means of wealth distribution. So if you think that a country that has a big recycler get all the waste and receives money from the government to recycle, or a country like in Brazil that receives the money from the government to get the waste and dump into a landfill, both systems are inserted in a mindset of concentrating wealth in one actor to deal with a problem, and this generates another problem, an additional problem of wealth concentration. And Resi system and Detrash is exactly subverting that. Like, it's disrupting that in the sense of shares the margins across all actors,
Got it.
and it is not, it is permissionless to the sense that everyone can participate.
Yes, yeah, I do realize it will not make it will not save the for all the costs in the family budget, but it definitely could be very good incentive for the for the households to use your solution. So it's not like money printing project. It's not like it will not create wealth, to be honest, but it will create, let's say, enough initiative and will incentivize very important actions on our Earth. I do realize your approach. If I hear you correctly, it will definitely help a lot of things.
And in the subjectivity of wealth, we ran a case in Angola. In Angola, the person, the average like waste collector, would get a minimum salary of Angola each 3 days. So
Mhm.
by Angola's standards, it generates wealth like crazy.
Right.
Uh, so, and if you think now, it's is so because one CRESI is $1, but there will only ever be 22 million CRESIs. So not only given scarcity, but also given the proof of waste system and all those deflationary measures we take, everybody that's now receiving CRESIs for their reports are actually creating a much larger wealth than the current price of CRESI stands for, right?
But
So it's more like a savings strategy than really like to have another revenue stream
okay,
monthly.
but how you will, let's say, pay for, let's say, that reports later, let's say after a couple of years. So you will just they will get not just one races, they will get some fraction of that races, some small.
Yes, exactly,
Got
exactly.
it.
So
Yeah.
at every the token, our tokenomics is public. You just go on our website, you can find it there, our white paper on tokenomics, and you see that from the C-Resi minted number 1 mil, no, sorry, 2,500,000 something, you will get half a Resi for each kilo, not one Resi for each kilo. So the longer it takes, the more waste you need to generate one Resi.
It's
And that is,
like a waste Bitcoin, like
yes, yes, yes. And this challenge occurred only in the third version of the tokenomics, because before there was no max supply, and like all our holders community, like, we're very worried about it, and we decided to hear them. And so I took the challenge to see how can we tackle whole waste of the world, municipal waste of the world, which will be 2.2 billion tons by 2026,
Yes.
with a scarce token. That seemed first, it seemed impossible to me, and then I said, yeah, I will factor it like it would be like a proof of work, but we will do like a proof of waste or something, so we can like cover it all.
By the way, it's wonderful. We will definitely join your motion, and as an Almas community, will create some maybe some campaign regarding that initiative. I have a couple ideas. I will definitely willing to work with you. It's truly interesting, and it's funny to be part of that motion. And
Thank you, thank you.
to be honest, the only real things will flourish on the beer market, because right now we have the beer market, and now you know what's real, and if you need some snacks, it's real stuff. So you are supporting the
Yeah.
actual idea, the actual mentality, and something real with your heart, honest, making those honest steps. Because on the bull market, you could jump on every train, because all the trains go to the
The
moon.
same direction. Yeah. Yeah, that's true. That's true. And that's, I think that I have like a like a polemic take on it, because I truly believe blockchain and cryptocurrencies and Web3 is all about a new, healthier system. So I think this bear market we're seeing is actually very healthy, because is really like giving limitation and shedding light into uh, the behavior of institutional players that think of crypto assets as they would think of, I don't know, stocks or anything else, instead of thinking of actually a new financial system, a new, more efficient financial system.
It's,
So
it's,
I think as it everything we see like LVMH, LIMVH with Gucci and everything accepting Bitcoin, we see the movement getting back to means of exchange, and I find this very healthy, because it really sets back the value and the purpose that blockchain should have in the world, really. I would
yes,
say it's not bad to like invest on it, but you shouldn't be only for investing, risk investing or leveraging or whatever. Right?
I like that approach of act to earn. That act to earn.
Yes.
It's not like work to earn or play to earn, act to earn. Because I don't feel a lot of freedom in all of that play to earn, and all that step and initiatives like move to earn or something like that. It's making puppies from the or dancing monkeys from the human race. But I like that act to earn, let's say, approach, because act is something. It's when you do something rebellious, when you are changing,
Yeah.
when you're a game changer, when you are
Yeah.
creating the big leaps and brave moves, and you could, let's say, you earn because you could prove that actionable actionable steps, big steps in
Yes.
some very important directions. And that's important, because all decentralization could move to or lean towards two things. We could lean towards all of that, let's say, crypto prison, like China digital freedom, digital prison, with total control, with Microsoft patent, when all your things and all your work, and you're working like a monkey, and that's some chip inside you, knowing when you rest, and they will you'll take charge because of that small rest. But most of the time you're working like a I don't know, like a robot, until we get some better robots and cheaper robots just to remove you from that ecosystem.
It's just a
Oh,
number, right?
Yes, yes. Or we could like actually create that act to a lot of act to earn startups, and that act to
Yes.
earn startups will go bigger than all of that
Yes.
government and all of that, policymakers, because that when you're acting, you are brave, and that bravery is a game changer from my perspective.
Yeah.
And I and I, and
Yeah.
I, and I hope that it's. I hope to see a lot of people working with Detrash because of that mentality, because understanding that they're not earning money, but they actually creating brighter future. They somehow they're not trying to show their, let's say, responsibility. They actually creating that future, and that's the biggest thing I see about the Detrash. Okay, let's move
Thank you.
forward.
Thank you, Aaron.
Yes. Could you explain more about the DAO principle? Because you just mentioned that you have a, let's say, have getting opinion from your community, getting opinion and improving your economics and improving your strategy. Could you explain more what kind of DAO principle actually uh, efficiently working right now in your community, and what to expect during the next years?
Yes. So we started very like simply. Up until today, we're four founders, four people that founded the organization. And when I was studying why waste is not solved yet after so long, uh, I would always get back to centralization. So the centralization problem. So I thought that a system to make this right should have like a decentralized governance to it. And then I went down the rabbit hole of DAOs, of organizations and co-ops and everything. And I found a couple of models that I liked, and I started to discuss with our co-founders which would be like a governance model that would actually uh, work in the sense of engaging people and being truly decentralized. I don't know if you've seen the last Chainalysis reports that says who is in DeFi. So most of DeFi actors are actually hedge funds and institutionals. So it's not that right? It's not that decentralized finance yet, although the infrastructure is adaptable to be decentralized. But and a lot of that is because of governance, of centralized governance. If you see what happened in Frog Nation, in Wonderland, and a number of other DAOs that have been wrecked by manipulation of token prices and votes, you see that there's a very serious issue. And when we realized that, we started making a framework that uh, that would keep the principle of one wallet, one vote.
Mhm.
Actually, one user, one vote, not one wallet, one vote, but one user, one vote.
Do you have some sort of QIC procedures, because you could generate a lot of
Yes.
wish you have some sort of you have integrated QIC solution, so you have your own
Yeah, we are like applying it to recyclers now, but the DApp will come with KYC users, and the votes would be through the DApp, so you
What do
cannot.
you what do you think, by the way, about self-sovereign identity? Because all of that centralized KYC process, so let's say somehow removing that freedom of and ability to control your, let's say, personal data. And right now
So
appears a lot of things like digital soul by Vitalik Buterin, or any other, let's say, self-sovereign identity, verifiable credentials type of solutions for
yeah,
that.
I've experimented a couple of them, a couple ones, and most of them are not like it's very complex. So a regular person would not go through that. It takes long and it's complex. I really like, and I've talked a couple of times because they are the ones we will probably use with proof of humanity. I
Mhm.
like their approach a lot, and they create a transparent enough database, uh, and it's not expensive, uh, and their roadmap is fine. So proof of humanity would be this in the future, but it first would be really like
Mhm.
uh, an account at the DAP, because the DAP is geolocation located, right? Because you got to show where you're producing your waste and where you're collecting it. So through that, it's very hard for you to have more than one account. It's like there is this constraint of one account per home or per user of waste generator,
Mhm.
and through that we will be there. We had have an experience of direct democracy, like because we do not have automation of governance yet. Our governance smart contract is not there yet, and that was very interesting. We still hear everybody that talks anything in Discord or Telegram or Instagram, wherever. We take literally all of the suggestions in meetings to debate on it. It is a hurdle because it takes some time from us, but we believe it gets us uh, committed to this mentality of a DAO. But our roadmap says that in the coming year we'll have actually the governance framework and a governance token from Detrash to vote everything.
So regarding the government token, mostly it will be to control your investment initiatives. I mean, the fund that
Yes.
will be spent on uh, other projects will support, let's say, your movement. Okay, I'm truly willing to create some sort of campaign with you because I'm a huge fan of gamification. I'm like I come from the game engine development market, where the guys behind Elmas Call Online, Elder Scroll Online, and Star Wars: The Old Republic. So
Wow,
it's
cool.
one of the biggest games during the last decade, and I do realize how we could introduce all of that projects to broad audience to gamify all of that, and I'm actually as Almas Land willing to work with you to create some, let's say, some project together, let's say to introduce that to our community and improve maybe the state of ecosystem here in Tulum, because I have a lot of I see a lot of issues even here in Tulum regarding the waste recycling. Even having very beautiful startups who is recycling plastic bottles and making fuel out of plastic bottles, even having all of that, not everything is solved. And I do realize that that small initiatives like $50, it's still the money for Mexicans. It could be, it's not big money, but it's money. And I understand it's definitely it's money for Brazil, Argentina, Venezuela, and other Dominican Republic. It could create the big buzz right now for.
Yes,
Uh,
yes.
and they,
Peru, El Salvador, Guatemala, all of Latin America, basically. It is a significant amount for whoever is not in the 1% of the society, right? Because
yes, yes,
the one
yes.
percent is it's all right. Like I mean, I'm very blessed, and I'm glad that I have the the life I have, and it doesn't mean a lot of money to me, but like people truly like give testimonials that was the first time they got any kind of money left in the end of the month for the last 5 years.
Right.
So there is like it is aimed for the most of the population, and it will be great to do an initiative in Tulum. Like it will be awesome. Like I'm very I admired a lot Elmas Land project, and as all the people on the team I met, you're also so good energy. I've introduced you guys to a couple of other projects that are thinking of the same, like how to create a regenerative village in the end. And I I'm definitely would love the project. I proposed on our MOU there to host our gatherings in Elmas locations,
Yes,
and
you're very welcome. You're very welcome. You're
that
very
would
welcome.
be awesome. Like
Thank you.
we are very excited about Elmas because in the end it's not waste only. More than that, and like I said, I have a 4-year-old kid. Uh, it's about uh, peaceful living, right? And that's the really cool thing that Elmas Land as a project has. Like it's much deeper because it goes to everyday's humane relations, and yeah, that's a I'm very impressed and congrats for the project. I'm very humbled to be invited by you to be here, man.
Thank you so much. Thank you for that wonderful conversation. Thank you for supporting, let's say, our small steps. We're actually willing to do a lot of things with Detrash and helping you with promoting your project, creating some campaigns and maybe some gamification projects or with Detrash. So for all of our followers and all of our viewers, stay tuned. You will see very big movement together with Detrash, and I'm actually hungry for those big steps together. Thank you so much.
Thank you for having me here. Thank you for everyone that watched. Tomorrow we launch on our website. You can buy Resi without talking to us, so it'll be easier. And yeah, I will extend the invitation for another live for our community as well. That would be great.
Okay, thank you. So I'm actually ready to be with you with your